Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to Reddit Diaries and Drama, a place where we dive headfirst into other people's drama because apparently that's one of the things that brings us joy in life. And of course, to learn from those dramas and comments from the Redditors. Before we jump into today's stories, make sure you hit that like button. It's free, and it makes me feel less dead inside. And if you're new here, subscribe because trust me, you're going to want to stick around for these juicy stories. All right, let's get into it. The first story we're going to talk about today comes from Am I the Asshole? And honestly, just from reading the title, I already have some thoughts brewing. The post is titled, Am I the Asshole for Not Accommodating My Roommate's Wishes Regarding the Cleaning? Oh boy, roommate drama. Here we go. My roommate gets annoyed if the bathroom isn't spotless. I'm very conscious and always try to clean up after myself. I even check the floor for stray hairs that might have fallen. But no matter what I do, she always finds something and starts deep cleaning. For example, she rewashed the bathroom mat the day after it had already been washed, just because she said there were a few hairs on it. Then she texted me asking to please clean everything so she doesn't have to do it every day. I replied that I'd be more attentive. Hold up, she rewashed a bathroom mat because of a few hairs? That's already raising some red flags for me. Let me keep reading to see how deep this rabbit hole goes. I started to check everything after I used the bathroom. The floor, the toilet, the bath, even mirror for spots, so that I don't leave any imperfection for her. Some days after I noticed a spot in the sink and hairs on the floor, so I texted her saying, just so you know, I didn't leave it like this. It was like this already when I entered the bathroom. She said, okay, let's set a cleaning schedule, and this will solve everything, so we don't have to discuss who made the mess, because I also clean after you. Then she suggested we take turns cleaning every other day. Oh, so now original poster is sending forensic reports about bathroom cleanliness. This is getting ridiculous. But wait, there's more. I asked what exactly that included, and she said, vacuuming and mopping the floor and cleaning the sink, bathroom, and toilet with chemicals. I told her that seemed like too much to do every other day, so she said, okay, then you do it twice a week, and I'll do it 4 times a week. 6 times a week? 6 times a week for a bathroom? What is this, a surgical operating room? I can barely remember to clean my bathroom once a week, and this woman wants a hazmat-level deep clean every other day. Honestly, I still think scrubbing everything twice a week, only for her to scrub them 4 more times in that same week, is completely unnecessary, and I refused. From my perspective, this feels more like meeting her personal standards than just basic hygiene. She also mentioned that no one had any complaints with her before. I have also shared a flat with other people, and no one before has been so focused on these little details, and I am becoming very stressed and feeling like asshole at this point. This person is clearly dealing with someone who has some serious cleanliness issues, and they're being made to feel guilty about having normal hygiene standards. The no one complained before line is classic manipulation. Let's see what the Reddit community had to say about this. Here's what one person wrote, not the asshole. The most common cleaning the bathroom schedule I've seen is about once a week for most items. Daily would just be wiping things down like faucets in the toilet bowl if visibly dirty, and of course just putting things away. I'm guessing you have a germaphobe roommate. Pay no attention to claims of no one had any complaints with her before. That is either untrue, or more likely she has browbeat all prior roommates into submission. Yes, exactly, someone with sense. Browbeat into submission. That's probably exactly what happened to those poor previous roommates. Another person wrote, not the asshole. If she has mild OCD or germ issues, she needs to own it and not expect others to have the same level. Compromising is okay, but you have to be okay with what you're being asked. I think once a week deep clean from you is a social norm and daily wipe of sink. If you dry your hair in the bathroom, I suggest you now do it in your bedroom. That will reduce hair on the floor. Maybe invest in a robot vacuum too, so the floor can be vacuumed daily while you are both out. This is actually really good advice. They're acknowledging that the roommate might have legitimate issues, but also setting reasonable boundaries. Someone else simply wrote, sounds like she has OCD. You don't need to deep clean every day. Don't let her control you. Not the asshole. And this comment made me laugh. This is overkill. Wiping out the sink basin every night? Fine. Normal. Scrubbing everything out every day? Takes a lot of time and cleaning product. But this last one was savage. It said, tell the roommate that the chemicals in the cleaning products will kill her long before a stray hair, and she needs to seek therapy for OCD. Okay, that last one was a bit harsh, but honestly, the roommate does need to address whatever compulsion is driving this behavior, instead of making it everyone else's problem. All right, let's move to the next post, and this one. Ooh, this one made my blood pressure spike just reading it. This next story comes from Am I the Asshole as well, but this time it involves workplace bullying. And I'm warning you right now, this story might make you angry. So I am a 23-year-old guy, and I have coworkers. It's a mixed group of people, but there is one person I particularly hate. I'll call her Judy, 26 female. Judy gets on my fucking nerves. I have never expressed any interest in coworkers, but she always says shit like, "Oh, you're short, it's gonna be difficult for you to find a girl." Deep insecurity of mine. I am 5'7", and you're not even 25 and have a dad bod. Oh, are you kidding me? This Judy person sounds absolutely delightful. Because nothing says professional like commenting on your coworker's height and body, right? I am a waiting till marriage type. I am religious. And she always says, what if you wait all this time and end up with someone who you can't satisfy? And out-of-pocket jokes like this. She even said, a nice woman will have to settle for you. We hang out outside work a lot too, so in our group, everyone makes jokes, but hers feels so personal, man. This isn't joking. This is targeted harassment. This woman is systematically attacking every aspect of this man's identity and self-worth. She also makes fun of my interests and says, no woman is going to want a man whose only interests are gaming and guns, etc. She literally is only rude to me, man. Out of all the other girls and dudes there, it's frankly demoralizing and annoying. It's so immature. I told her, yo, you gotta chill. And she makes jokes about me being sensitive. The fact that she only targets him specifically makes this even worse. This is bullying, plain and simple. But wait, it gets worse. Let me keep reading. Anyway, we went out for drinks today. I was being a wingman for my friend, and I was talking him up to this girl. Judy, who thinks I am talking to this girl for myself, swoops in and says, so much for being a virgin and waiting till marriage. Huh, all right. Embarrassed me in front of strangers for no reason. She what? She just announced his personal business to complete strangers. That's not just inappropriate. That's cruel. I am not unhappy with the choice I made, but I don't want it being brought up. It's a personal and sensitive matter, man. Anyway, that ticked me off, so I ignored her for rest of the night. Played poker with some old dudes after that. Judy comes up to me out of nowhere with some random dude. Actually, here is my boyfriend. Honey, you want to leave? I looked at her confused. I realized what was going on. I am a fucking escape plan for her. Oh, so now she needs him? After spending months tearing him down, suddenly he's useful when she needs a fake boyfriend? I did not want to be used by her just because she doesn't want to deal with dudes hitting on her. I said I am not her boyfriend, bro. Shoot your shot, and went back to my poker game. She muttered and left. She is texting me that I am not a good man for not standing up for her when a dude was making her uncomfortable. The audacity. The absolute audacity of this woman. She said she would never talk to any regular man that behaved like that ever again, and I should be grateful she isn't deleting my number. Oh my god. Please don't. Who will crush me and attack my insecurities relentlessly if you do that? Okay, I actually laughed at that sarcastic comment. At least this guy has some humor about the situation. We were in a bar full of people. Nothing could have happened. She just wanted to use me to avoid an uncomfortable situation, and considering how she only shits on me relentlessly and treats a used condom with more respect than me, doesn't even give me the respect a basic animal, let alone a fucking human, deserves. I don't see why I have to play a man for her when she constantly shits on me for not being one for my beliefs or things I can't control. This man just perfectly articulated why he doesn't owe her anything. She can't spend her time destroying someone and then expect them to rescue her. Let's see what the Reddit community thinks about this workplace nightmare. The top comment says, not the asshole. And this is all stuff you should take to HR or a supervisor because none of what she is doing is appropriate. And the original poster replied, man, she is fucking HR. Her and her cronies run that department. She just means it endearingly. Alright, bro, so why is it literally only me, man? She doesn't do this with any of her friends or any of the other guys. Shit is targeted, man. I think I may need to go above her. Of course, she's in HR. Of course, the bully is the one who's supposed to prevent bullying. This is like a nightmare scenario. Someone else wrote, not the asshole. She is a bully, plain and simple. She goes out of her way to make you feel insecure and does not stop. Don't be insensitive towards someone and then expect them to be sensitive towards you. Is she like this to your other coworkers as well? Or is it just a fixation with you? Original poster responded, she mostly only hangs around her group, which is all women. But she does interact with guys, and it's usually very cordial and respectful. Except for me, of course, because fuck me for existing. My bad. She was initially very respectful to me, because we have the same ethnic background, because our parents are from the same part of the same country. But then she become a deranged psycho out of nowhere like a month in. I don't know what I did to tick her off, man. Exist? My bad for existing. This poor guy is so beaten down, he's actually apologizing for existing. This is what prolonged bullying does to people. But here's an interesting perspective. If it's just you, then either she really dislikes you, or she secretly likes you and is trying to sabotage your chances with other women because she has her sights set on you. She noticeably only swooped in after seeing you talking with another woman. She could be saying you're unattractive, so you're more likely to say yes to her because it feels like a godsend, simply because she doesn't know how to express her interest in a healthy way due to being a toxic person. That's actually an interesting theory. Some people do hurt the ones they like because they don't know how to express feelings properly. But not everyone agreed with the original poster. One person said, "Everyone sucks here. I wouldn't have a problem with you correcting that you're not her boyfriend, but the shoot your shot comment was uncalled for, given you knew full well she wasn't comfortable with that guy and looking for an out. You didn't have to give her one, but to encourage someone else's bad behavior was an move. Women have been injured and killed by men. Yes, even in places full of people." I understand this perspective about women's safety, but here's the thing. You can't systematically destroy someone for some time and then expect them to be your knight in shining armor when it's convenient for you. Okay, let's move on to our next story. And this one is about boundaries, respect, and knowing when to walk away. This story comes from a 29-year-old woman who made a decision that I honestly respect. The title is, "I, 29 female, broke up with my partner, 30 male, after a surprise party." Interesting. Let's see what happened. I'm looking to see how others would have reacted to this situation. For context, I've been dating my now ex for 5 months. Things were mostly smooth, except the little things that were becoming consistent. He would often change, delay, and/or cancel plans last minute for a variety of reasons. He often knew things would change but didn't let me know until right before we were to meet up. He was 30 min late to our first date. Okay, so we're dealing with someone who doesn't respect time or commitments. Red flag number 1. I'm a person who really values their time and requires a bit of planning. I have been understanding, forgiving, and flexible to his ever-changing timeline. I did bring up several times that if this became consistent, it would be a problem. Then I told him that it would be a complete deal breaker if he canceled big plans. He always promised to make it up to me, but never did, and he never changed. She set clear boundaries, communicated her needs, and gave him multiple chances. This is how you handle relationships like an adult. Well, that time came. He was away for work for a month with minimal to no contact due to the nature of his work. We had planned to rejoice the night he came back. It started off with him saying he'd come straight to my place. Then he said he needed to drop off stuff and get clothes at his place. He lives with his family. A few minutes later, he calls me to tell me he's staying to have dinner with his parents. I told him that it was upsetting because I had dinner waiting for him. His first question was to ask what it was. His first question was what dinner she made. Not, "I'm sorry," or "how can I make this right?" but "what's for dinner?" The audacity. Then he texts me to tell me he won't be long and insisted he'd come over even after I said not to worry about it right now. I'm waiting and waiting. I get a call, but couldn't answer right away, but received a text stating that his family had a surprise party for him and that he wasn't coming at all after all. No invite, no acknowledgement of the hurt, and a vague, non-committal plan to come over first thing tomorrow. A surprise party that magically appeared after he was already having dinner with his family? And no invite for his girlfriend of 5 months? That was it for me. I waited a whole month for him and planned several days in advance to have a nice dinner. Cleaned my apartment top to bottom, shaved, got dolled up for nothing. I called him out and told him that it was weird his family planned a surprise party knowing we had plans and didn't even bother to invite me. He started backpedaling and saying I was invited and that he wanted to see me. I stood my ground and told him that I couldn't do this anymore. I stayed firm in my decision and had him pick up his things the next day. Good for her. She knew her worth and she stuck to her boundaries. That takes strength. I wonder if I was too harsh in not having a more in-depth conversation about the issue, although my decision would have been the same. She wasn't too harsh at all. She gave him multiple chances and clear communication about her boundaries. He chose to ignore them. Let's see what people think about her decision. Here's what someone wrote. He doesn't respect you or your time. His lack of awareness of you and your valuable time is enough for me to also break up with someone. You aren't his priority. Exactly. Time is the one thing you can never get back, and he was consistently wasting hers. Another person said, I think you did the right thing. If you're feeling this over at all, only 5 months in, then I can't imagine that it was going to be a forever thing. This comment made me emotional. When I see a post like this, I feel strangely invigorated. When you see all the posts of people being trampled over by their partner, then you see posts like this. The gaslighting, narcissism, manipulation, the many forms of abuse, and much more, it can be a lot for the reader to take in. I just want to say, good for you. I'm proud of you. I wish I'd known what you know sooner. My life would have been a lot different. I'd change his contact name to Tardy in my phone because I'm ruthless. And if he messages you, it's a reminder. Tardy. I love that. And this person is right. It's refreshing to see someone who knows their worth and acts on it. And this last comment, I dated someone like this. It never gets better. In fact, I'm proud of you for recognizing the disrespect and neglect so early and doing something about it. He took you for granted. You were never a priority. Good riddance. You now have the opportunity to find a real man. That's the truth right there. These patterns don't change unless the person wants to change. And his actions showed he had no intention of changing. All right, let's move to our final story, and this one involves controlling behavior and some major red flags. This last story comes from a 20-year-old woman dealing with what I can only describe as controlling and potentially dangerous behavior. The title is, My 20 female boyfriend, 22 male, is not talking to me because I got my nails done. How do I tell him I'm done? Already off to a concerning start. Let's get into it. I have been in a 1-year-long relationship with this guy. We met through volunteer work, and I liked him since day one. It took 3 years for us to get into a relationship, and it was fun at first, but then he became different. He started getting jealous when I wear a casual t-shirt, saying it's way too much skin for his liking and that I should start dressing more modestly. Oh no, we're dealing with someone trying to control how she dresses. This is textbook controlling behavior. He tried talking me into wearing only long sleeves and long pants, but you know what? I am quite modest to begin with. I wear half sleeves and skirts below the knees, and that is my idea of modest. I'm not religious, I just live in a third world country. I don't think there's anything wrong with what he believes modesty means, but it obviously doesn't apply to me, and I couldn't withstand the pressure, so I just told him to let me be. She's already dressing modestly by most standards, but that's not enough for him. This isn't about modesty anymore. This is about him trying to control her. I showed him a picture of my nails after I got them done later that day, and he told me to go get them removed because I was being a bad person by having them done. He has certain beliefs, and I'm so tired of getting shamed for doing normal things. Getting your nails done makes you a bad person? What kind of backwards thinking is this? He is my first boyfriend, and I am a bit more naive than the average person, but I'm seriously drained. He talked to me after and told me that things would get better only after I stopped taking my birth control. I'm taking it to regulate my periods. He means the hormones are messing with my head, and I told him I didn't like that, and he just gave me the finger, and that was the last time we spoke. He wants her to stop taking birth control for medical reasons and dismissed her concerns by giving her the finger? This man is showing every red flag possible. Let's see what some Redditors had to say about this alarming situation. The top comment said, he talked to me after and told me that things would get better only after I stopped taking my birth control. He's trying to baby trap you. I told him I didn't like that, and he just gave me the finger, and that was the last time we spoke. Good, let it be the last time. You don't need to tell him you're done. It's already been made clear, and you're better off without him. Baby trap. That's exactly what this sounds like. Trying to get her off birth control while controlling every aspect of her appearance and behavior. Someone else wrote, please listen to this advice and get out. This is not a man. This is a child. Another person said, sounds like it was a misogynistic way of dismissing your objections because he has no valid arguments. Oh, you're just crazy because of your lady pills. You will be much better off without him. Find someone who will be happy to see you happy and won't try to control you. Exactly. Blaming her legitimate concerns on hormones is classic gaslighting behavior. And this final comment gave her a clear action plan. You say our relationship is over? Do not contact me again. I hope you have a great life. Then you cut off every single avenue he can use to contact you. Simple, direct, and final. That's exactly how you handle someone like this. Wow, those were some heavy stories today. We covered everything from obsessive cleaning roommates to workplace bullying, disrespectful partners, and controlling boyfriends. But you know what I noticed in all of these stories? The people who set boundaries, communicated clearly, and stuck to their values came out on top. If you're dealing with any situation similar to what we discussed today, remember that you deserve respect, kindness, and basic human decency. Don't let anyone make you feel bad for having standards. What did you think about these stories? Which one made you the most angry? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I love reading your perspectives on these situations. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future interesting videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll probably question humanity all over again. Bye, everyone.